Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Talkies, the Anjana Kumar show, and I am your host, Anjana. Today, we have a very intriguing topic to talk about, and it's called Kundalini Yoga. Coming back on our podcast to talk about this is Marina Robert. She is an energy coach and she's also a real estate advisor, but she is also someone who teaches Kundalini Yoga in Dubai. So, Marina, welcome back to our podcast. It was lovely having you last time, and it's again nice to see you here.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, tell us about the Kundalini Yoga. What is Kundalini Yoga, and how is it different from other forms of yoga?
So, Kundalini or Kundalini Yoga is the symbolism of a snake, the life primal force energy called the Shakti energy, which we all have stored at the base of our spine in our lower root chakra. When the Kundalini is awakened, it helps lead to spiritual enlightenment, which is what is talked about by the mystics, the yogis, and all religious and cultures. So, it's that serpent based energy in the base of our spine. Kundalini yoga is different in the terms of that it's a combination of movements, asanas, mantras, and most importantly, breath work, which I love, that helps activate certain energies in the body to help us awaken basically from within. It is the to do with the consciousness of energy and everything that is around us, which we are universal consciousness. The more we practice Kundalini and the more we can become mindful and lead to greater insight and self awareness to our life and basically connect to our higher selves and live our lives with greater purpose and really be connected in this life.
Right. So, in a session of Kundalini Yoga, can that be achieved? Like the awakening, can that happen, or is it something that comes with practice and really preparing the mind and body to that awakening?
So they say that the human body is a vessel that should be prepared. When we practice Kundalini, we are preparing for awakening. It's different from everyone. You can't say that by doing it every day you'll have the awakening. For me, I haven't for sure, but for others, actually, they have the awakening when they sleep or through different experiences. In a session, what you can expect to achieve is an activation of very powerful energy. So again, going back to the Shakti energy, it's creative, boundless potential. When you practice Kundalini, you're tapping into that energy, into that field.
Right. So, if you can run us through a 40, typically a session is for how many minutes?
Can do a Kundalini session anywhere between 5 minutes, 20 minutes to an hour. It depends on you. It's can just
Right.
even be a quick 10-minute breathwork session before you go to work in the morning. It's up to you.
So can you run us through like how a session is? Like what starts, what is the start and what is the finish of a session?
So you would start with the focusing first on the lower chakras. You would start with fast breathing through the stomach, like that basically helps release any stress or tension in the lower chakras, which keeps us in the root, grounded to the earth.
Yeah.
And it's basically what's unique about Kundalini is there's so many variations. It's not like a normal yoga class. You would sit in a normal grounded position. You would start with spinal twist, for example, moving around. You would do it with a combination of breath work and hand movements and even singing as well, chanting mantras which are part of the collective consciousness. So different movements would be targeted for different body parts and activating those chakras, activating the heart center, releasing the energy. And the idea is that we bring the energy up from the spine all the way up to the pineal gland, which helps us to connect. So again, it starts in a sitting position and it would move to different asanas and different movements. So it's not like your normal typical yoga session that you would see in the world.
Wow, that's really nice. And like, what's the history of this Kundalini Yoga? Like, when did it come about? Where are its origins? If you want to just give us
So
that insight.
Kundalini Yoga is referred to as an ancient technology and science of the awakening in the body. It's a form of healing, you can say, when we are doing the Kundalini, we are regenerating ourselves, the life force, vitality in our body, the pranayama, the life force. It's been around since 500 to 1000 BC. I don't know too much about the history, but it's talked about in many traditions and cultures, the Vedic, Hinduism, and Tantric. And there's different forms of Kundalini, and each teacher or each yogi or mystic will have a different way or perception of teaching it. So it's something very rich in culture that I don't think anyone can fully grasp or understand. It's a constant learning in life, but it's been around since the beginning of time.
Nice. I'd love to know about your personal journey into healing. How did it start? When did it start? And who was your first master or guru?
So my journey, I think I knew about spirituality 4 years ago, but I probably had my first proper awakening in the last 2 years. Being a Sagittarius and an adventurous person, I practice many modalities, Reiki, pendulum healing, crystals, shamanism, working with the tribes across the world, and I'm still learning. I feel like I'm still new in my journey. Um, Very deep, painful awakenings, you can say, going through very painful life experiences with people, going through very hard parts of my life, like financially, emotionally, severe depression and despair, and lost, complete chaos. And that's when the awakenings happen. My my journey, I could talk about it for forever. It's very long, but Kundalini was something that I came across in Bali last year through a lady called Rebecca. She teaches it there at Yoga Barn in Ubud. One lady who's really changed my life is a lady called Rinki, who is a psychic and a master in many modalities, including tarot, akashic, so money Reiki, for example. So yeah, it's a lot. I could talk about it a lot, but there's many masters and teachers who've helped me through the use of plant medicines, shamanism, Reiki, Akashic records, access bars. Every time I tried something new, I would learn something different about myself, and then work on that, basically, even therapy, for example.
Right. And adopting to all these alternative modalities can transform your life. And I suppose you are a living example of that.
Yeah.
But again, it's also about convincing people. So people have to be prepared and open to these healing modalities. I think a lot of it really depends on that because people are closed in their heart and mind.
Yes.
Like they still want to know the science behind it. There is a science behind it, but they're not ready to accept it, perhaps. Do you find that challenging at times as a coach, as someone who trains in various modalities? Is that something that you find challenging when you meet people?
It's everyday life. Like, I believe that we live in a matrix, and a lot of people walk through life unconscious or asleep in behavioral patterns or loops that keep them stuck. When we begin to awaken, we begin to kind of have like either out of body experiences or very deep realizations and epiphanies that lead us to make different choices. That's when we break the pattern and start to change as a person, whether it's, being very selfish or having narcissistic behavior. Those people that are, deeply egotistical are usually the ones that have gone through severe trauma in their lives and mask it with their ego. And as you said, the heart is closed. The heart is the key to receiving. If our heart is closed off, we can't receive and see the abundance that we live in our day-to-day life. So as healers, as empaths, as whatever you want to call us, it is very challenging day to day. But the thing is, we attract what we are. So we attract the good and the bad. And as we practice a form of Kundalini, our aura expands, our energy shifts, it changes, and we attract the right people towards us in our life at the right time. And everyone is also a mirror in your healing journey. The people that show you the deepest triggers show you the parts of yourself that you need to heal the most.
Right. And that's so beautiful. Is there a community here that you're part of and where people can, get into and be associated with and seek help if they want to?
Yes, for sure. So I'm a very social person by nature. I love to go to networking events, spiritual healing. I'm also in corporate and real estate, so I meet a lot of people. I have my own community for my essential oils, which I do. I do workshops privately and in studios for the oils and Kundalini. So if you're connected to me, for sure, depending on what you're looking for, I can definitely help connect you, whether it's in Dubai or globally.
Right. And have you reached out to practitioners around the globe to basically help you as well grow as a healer so you can, I think, transform more lives, not just here in UAE, but globally as well?
So I'm in the process of doing that. Indonesia is somewhere where I feel very connected, being in the nature and the plants, the jungles. The vibration is very high there for me. Right now, I'm looking to build that in Dubai because I've been here for many years. So I'm building that community here. I do work with practitioners, with doctors. I'm part of an amazing team globally with doTERRA. So I do look to work with healers, practitioners, yogis, or just anyone who wants to expand their mindset because we incorporate all of this. This is all awareness at the end of the day. The Kundalini, the oils, they're just tools that help connect people together. So, yeah, for sure. I
Right.
have this game.
So in a day, how much time do you spend with alternative healing, whether teaching or practicing?
If I'm doing a workshop or meditation, it can go anywhere between 1 to 3 hours. If I'm practicing alone, 20 minutes to 45 minutes. I also do different things like journaling or Reiki or the different pendulum healing boards I have, but the alone would be maybe 20 to 30 minutes when I get the time.
And that is refreshing enough. That sort of like reboots your system, like mind and body. That's good enough.
Yes, because the thing is, as energy beings, people don't realize this, but we absorb everything around us. So for me, I get overwhelmed being in at work or around a lot of places or being away from the nature. So I need that. I use my essential oils to help me rebalance myself, but I also we have the life force, the breath, the pranayama, which is why I love Kundalini or just breath work, because that helps you bring you back to your center and your heart space.
In fact, I've been thinking about asking this question to you actually, and I'm really glad you brought this up. But talking about breath work, like a lot has been said. I mean, I personally, of course, do believe in it, but can I feel like it's never said enough on how breathing can help you, how breathing right and being aware of your breath can actually change things
Yes.
around in your body and mind. And if you want to just explain that again.
Ask people how many times they breathe in a day, they won't even know, or how they even breathe properly. Breath, the breath is the life force of everything. You come into this earth with your breath, the first thing you do, and the last thing before you die is with your breath. And people are not conscious. When you start to focus on breath work and breathing, you become more conscious within yourself. One of the things I did was Vipassana, which is a 10-day silent meditation. The first 4 days is just focusing on the breath and the sensation between your mouth and your nose. It takes 3 to 4 days to achieve that because we are so disconnected from ourselves in this chaotic world that we don't even realize our breath.
Why is it important to be aware of the breath?
Because it's being aware of ourselves. It's becoming conscious. It's about being present. It's everything they talk about, mindfulness and spirituality and yoga is just about being present, being in this moment. When you're focused on your breath, you're focusing on the present moment.
Okay, that's so right. And is there a right way to breathe and a wrong way to breathe?
Yes, I think traditionally how we were taught to bring is wrong. So when you breathe in, your stomach should be out, and then when you, I think I'm getting it mixed the wrong way, but
Yeah,
yes, there is.
the stomach goes in when you breathe in, and when you breathe
I
out,
always get it
it
mixed up
exhales.
actually, but the way that we were taught is wrong. It should be the other way around. So when we breathe out, we should be breathing with our stomachs in. When we breathe in, our stomachs should be out.
Oh, it's the other
It's the
way
other way around,
around.
yes. So you learn this in classes. Kundalini, this is actually where I learned it.
Wow,
Yeah.
I just tried that now. Oh, that's a whole different thing.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's just the other way around.
It's the other way around,
Yeah, so
exactly.
does it make a difference? Does it change patterns if you like do it the other way?
I'm not sure, but it is advised to do that way. But with, of course, with extensive breath work, you can help reprogram your subconscious mind, release trauma from the body and tension. So there's a whole science behind this. I'm not an expert to say, but I do what works for me, and I'm still learning. I call myself a student of life. I'm always learning.
Right. So from my understanding, the Kundalini yoga is like an express yoga. It's like 5 to 10 minutes, and of course you did mention it can go up to even an hour.
Longer, yeah.
Yeah, but do you usually combine Kundalini yoga with other forms of yoga when you do a session?
So Kundalini Yoga is basically a mix of yoga, of Hatha and the other types of yoga. So it's asanas, which is practiced in every yoga, and
Right.
asana is a movement, and then mantras, which is chanting,
Yeah.
breath work, which is the pranayama, the breathing, and then different hand like body parts as well. So yes, and 5 minutes is very little. I'd say at least 15 to 20 minutes a day because
Yeah.
it's the minimal. And they say with Kundalini, after the movements, because you're creating new energy in the body, you should sit in shavasana or in meditation after that to allow that energy to sink in because you've just expanded and changed your electromagnetic field. That's how powerful it is.
That's so beautiful. So meditation is usually combined with Kundalini
It
yoga
is
to
meditation.
finish.
After the Kundalini
Yeah.
movements, whatever you decide to do, there's so many endless variations. You should sit, if you do 15 minutes of Kundalini, you should do 15 minutes of meditation and just sit there. And it's an integration of
Yeah.
everything that you've just experienced.
Right. Do you want to sort of share to our viewers and listeners where you teach Kundalini yoga, where they can get a session done, and how much it costs?
So it depends. If it's privately, it could be anywhere between like 500 dirhams for an hour. If it's going to be like a combined session with a workshop, I like to combine it with essential oils or art, for example, which I'm starting to do more of. It can be around 2 to 300 for a group session, depending on the amount of people. So I'm just starting to actually get into that space of teaching that. And again, it's for me spreading the awareness of the benefits of the lifestyle that it brings.
That's very well priced, honestly, because I think the benefits that come along with it is really huge, and I think people can sort of and should open their minds and hearts to having adopting to this. Is there anything else that you want to add to this before we wrap up?
With the people around, of course, there's a lot of skeptical or close people, which is fine.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned on my journey is that people heal when it's their time to heal. If they want to stay closed off and miserable for their whole lives, or non-believers, that's absolutely fine. Everyone's journey is unique, and what is meant to you will come for you in the divine timing and the right time and the right place. But now I feel like we're going through a beautiful shift on our planet where people are starting to wake up and realize that, again, with the Kundalini, it shows you that we are infinite beings. This is going to the cosmos and the energy, and that we are made up of everything around us. We are connected. We are all connected to each other. We all come from the same place. So
Yeah.
people that are able to experience that through their, spiritual healings and journey will understand. Others will not because they are still separate or living in their own universe,
Bubble.
which is separate from being connected, even though we're all connected at the end of the day.
Exactly. And we're hoping with every podcast of ours that people open their hearts and mind to adopt to alternative healing modalities, take up yoga, Kundalini yoga, or other yoga forms to just help themselves and that of their loved ones. On this note, I think it's a wrap from here. So if you guys want to reach out to Marina, you can do so. We're going to put her Instagram handle on our YouTube channel. You have to, of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel to start with. It's at Arc Talkies. And do follow us on our Instagram handles as well. And if you want to be part of our podcast or if you want to take a session with Marina, then just reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you out. For now, it's a wrap from me, Anjana, and the Arc Talkies. Thank you so much for watching and listening.